Via Desert News, scary scenes took place in East Salt Lake City, Utah, when the Utes took on Brigham Young University, and the game, nicknamed the Holy War, went down. Utah fans were peeved when a late holding call took away a sack on fourth down that would have basically ended the game. Thus it continued. BYU, given new life, drove down the field, got in field goal range, kicked a 44-yarder for the dub. Those in attendance started throwing projectiles onto the field. One of those struck BYU cheer coach Jocelyn Allan.
Their old fans are throwing water bottles. That girl just got hit in the face with a water bottle. I have it on camera. We gotta be careful, boys. That girl got hit. I have it on camera.
Not only scary scenes, but flat out unnecessary. So Allan, the cheer coach, put this on her Instagram story, which we'll read together. At the conclusion of tonight's BYU-Utah game, a Utah fan in the table seats in the south end zone threw a water bottle and hit me directly in the head. I lost consciousness, but thankfully it was lowered to the ground by one of my cheerleaders. Police are going over video footage to identify the seats that it came from. We have a pretty good idea. If you saw the incident or have any info on the family who owns that particular box, please contact me. Thank you. With that being said, we have an update, and it comes from Joe Coles of Desert.com. Joe reports an arrest has been made. It is an 18-year-old named William Gardner. It is a charge of assault, a Class A misdemeanor. Gardner is not a student at the University of Utah. That was emphasized in many news articles. A special shout-out goes to Jessica Hallowell, who shot the original video that was obtained by Desert News. Without her help, I really don't know if we find the culprit. Meanwhile, after the game, University of Utah tight end Landon King helped pick up trash. In addition,
this game was absolutely stolen from us. We were excited about being in Big 12, but tonight I am not. We won this game. Someone else stole it from us. Very disappointed. I will talk to the commissioner. This was not fair to our team. I'm disgusted by the professionalism of the officiating crew tonight. Thank you.
That was Utah Athletic Director Mark Harlan. Now, let's be clear. This does not happen a lot, if at all. Okay? Harlan decided to insert himself into this story, rile up his fan base even more, and play victim. Was it a call that should not have been made? Probably. But to do this and incite the fans in even more hatred and vitriol is quite a tactic, I gotta say. As Sam Farnsworth wrote, I've been in sports journalism for 22 years now in one form or another. I've never seen an athletic director come to the podium after a game, win or lose, and talk to the media. Mark Harlan, the Utah AD, had a message and wanted to make sure the Big 12 heard it. Oh, well, they did. And they decided to take action. For those comments, Harlan was fined $40,000. Pete Thamel of the Four Letter Network wrote the Big 12 is considered stiff. The Big 12 fine, rather, is considered stiff, as the three athletic director fines of note in the past decade were all $25,000. Harlan tried to play cleanup in the aftermath. Last night, following our game against Brigham Young University, I made my clear feelings related to the game officiating. However, I recognize that there are more appropriate times and avenues to express those concerns, and I accept the consequences of my decision. He would also add this. My comments came after having just left our team locker room where our student athletes were hurting and upset. The University of Utah is proud to be a member of the Big 12 Conference. and we look forward to working with our peers to continue to enhance the league. BYU and their coaches, student athletes, having a terrific season. Yes, they are, and we wish them the very best. So Val Hale, the former athletic director at Brigham Young University, spoke with local outlet KSL TV on those comments from Mark Harlan. And Val said, and I quote, "I was really surprised. I was not surprised at all that he got fined and reprimanded." So the commissioner of the Big 12 then released a statement of his own. Mark's comments irresponsibly challenged the professionalism of our officials and the integrity of the Big 12 Conference. There is a right way and a wrong way to voice concerns. Unfortunately, Mark chose the wrong way. Accordingly, this violation warrants a public reprimand and financial penalty. The Big 12 Conference prioritizes professionalism, integrity, and fairness, and will continue to do so. So, look, actions speak louder than words, all right? They saw what he said. They fined him heavily. It's, according to the reporting, the largest fine that an athletic director in the Big 12 Conference has ever received in its history, and it was probably warranted. It was probably warranted. Emotions are running high. You're very upset that your team lost. You feel like there is an injustice, but really just playing this hardcore victim complex, what it actually does, if he wanted to do this, was take the heat off of Kyle Whittingham, who was the head coach at the University of Utah. I believe they're 1-5 in the Big 12. Not good. They had an opportunity to upset BYU, who is undefeated not only in conference play, leading the Big 12, but also undefeated at this juncture in the 2024 college football season. So it's a double whammy here. And again, if you're trying to take the heat off Whittingham, you did it. But if you wanted negative attention to be thrown onto you and for you to receive the biggest fine in conference history, well, you accomplished it. So kudos to you. BYU, as I said, leads the conference. But for Utah, they still have to face Colorado. Deion Sanders' Colorado, where Travis Hunter, if they continue winning, is probably going to win the Heisman. The Iowa State Cyclones and the University of Central Florida. I do not like their chances at all in any of those matchups. If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TYT Sports. And or go to tyt.com/join. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate it. Have a great day.